Now, the rules of the leash. Leash time is work time, never play time. And this is a hard thing for people to grasp because everybody wants dogs to quote unquote to meet or have people pet them while on leash, etc., etc. They think this is part of socializing. If you set the rules that it's possible for your dog to interact with dogs and people who will reinforce his desire to play around or be a playhound or an attention whore, he will be increasingly more difficult to get attention and devotion to you while on the leash. It's just setting him up for failure, basically. He knows it's possible. The door's cracked open, so he's going to aim to boulder his way through that door every single time the opportunity shows up. So dog socialization is primarily through the nose, and if your dog can see and smell the dogs and not lose his mind, he's well socialized. Good socialization with dogs does not mean they want to play with everybody. Actually, that's more like domination, and that's an insecurity thing. It can become an insecurity thing when it's fostered accidentally by people with puppies. So you want to actually kind of teach him to trust your judgment and learn to see and smell other dogs without losing his mind and focus on you. So, from now on, when on leash, there is no sniffing, peeing, pooping, or visiting other packs ever without your permission. And you will never give permission if he or any other dog and person is excited or nervous in the situation. He gets the reward of sniffing, peeing, and pooping and visiting right after he offers good behavior like heel, sit, stay, focus, etc. This leads me back to the learn focus command in the house. Always send him to pee or poop or just sniff or visit others only after he gives you eye contact, right? So always begin each behavior you ask him to do with a focus command and end the training with a focus command. This is how you veritably train your dog to believe that you are the alpha and the omega of his life, so to speak. And when it comes to on-leash visiting, you must make sure he never makes full contact with another dog. He just gets to smell them, and for a while, it'll be at a distance. Another way of looking at meeting other dogs, for those of you who want to look it up, take a look at the details of the Canine Good Citizen Test by AKC, or the American Kennel Club. The part where the two handlers meet with their dogs, that's how it should be, and rarely is, because people set it up for failure and overexcitement all the time. Now, off-leash, he can interact with other dogs freely after he's earned the opportunity to be off-leash with heel, sit, stay, focus, etc. But he must never be allowed to get so excited and play that he can't drop everything when called. That's up to you to figure out when he's past the point of no return and when he's still aware of your presence. And the duration he can play before he's past the point of no return will increase as he matures, assuming, of course, we do this right. So I continue with, you will feel like you're being a total bitch to everyone because you're not letting people freely pet him or letting him freely meet dogs. You have to take that out of his muscle memory of the leash work and be consistent. Then he'll realize there's no point in trying to get the pleasure he seeks and disconnecting from you in the process. I hope this helps you. So that's kind of the gist of the situation. It's like that is like the crux of what I do for most of my living is helping people with that situation in terms of understanding that excitement and getting crazy about seeing another dog or a person is not actually good socialization. It actually leads to a lot of aggression and it leads to a lot of disobedience, and it's just kind of a messy situation. I do recall being called a total bitch for not letting people touch my puppy Cassie, and now I have a new puppy, and I'm starting to see where she's uncomfortable with being passed around and stuff, and I respect that. If she doesn't want to go to another person, I don't have her be handed over anymore, so Yonkers doesn't have to deal with it. It's not a situation where you just throw a dog into craziness of other dogs and other people. Just because you know it's okay doesn't mean that the dog's going to understand it's okay. You actually have to sort of teach boundaries within those contexts and make sure that boundaries are always about refocusing to you. You are the alpha and the omega for your dog. That's what you got to be. You've got to be your dog's God. And that's part of ownership and taking care of them and making sure they're safe. There's nothing less, I should put it this way, there's nothing more satisfying than have a dog that's so well behaved that you can trust their reactions in any stressful situation to almost 100% accuracy. And that's the kind of partnership you want to have with your dog. It starts off with like sitting there and think about your puppy and how you want them to be when they're older. What kind of dog do I want to have? Do I want a dog that I can take anywhere that isn't a nuisance to everybody? And or do I want a dog that it just thinks that they have to be, crazy ass wrestle buddies with everybody they meet? And the thing is that sometimes we project what we want onto our dogs. And this is something that Monica is not doing. So congratulations. I'm glad that you're paying attention to this stuff. But a lot of times people want to be these social party animals. So they turn their dogs into social party animals. And that's what they are, just party animals. And they're not really well behaved. And they turn into aggressive or domineering jackasses, basically, and we think it's all fun and cute because they're dogs. And the reality is if we trained our children to do the same thing, we would not be accepted to parties very often. So you want to, like, if you want to know how to set the ground rules for your dog, think about the all or none situation. Your dog is not able to read your mind to say, okay, well, today you were really good for 20% of the walk, so I'm going to let you go play with this dog on leash. They don't get that concept. They don't know what you're trying to tell them. If you give them that chance once, they're going to go for it every time because, of course, it's a lot of fun, usually. So you want to actually set the ground rules where I want to be able to control the situation when I can't have them play with the dogs. And most of the dogs, at least here in Los Angeles, are not well trained, are not well socialized. And I don't want my dogs to learn bad behavior or to get skittish or insecure. So I'm going to be very, very picky about who they hang out with, who they get to roughhouse with. Otherwise, we're walking on that leash and we're going, we're moving, we're doing our own thing because guess what? I'm the alpha and the omega and I've got a mission to go on. And my dog has to come with me and ignore the distractions. He can tell me when there's a distraction coming, but I'm the one who makes the decision. Here's another way of putting it this way, in terms of working with your dog on focus. Everything the dog does, whatever they last did before they got the satisfaction of what they're going after, whatever the reinforcement is, they think that's what got them what they wanted. So if your dog starts whining and then you say, hey, look at me, and then send your dog out to go visit another dog, the problem is that your dog's not stupid. They're going to start whining and then look at you and whine and look at you and whine and look at you. So you also have to be careful about what kind of pattern of behavior are you creating? What's the sequence that's going on? Are you seeing a sequence where the dog acts out, then suddenly gives you this lovely behavior, and then you reward them with that? So if the dog is always precursoring their good behavior with jackass behavior, then you've got to decide that every time my dog whines to try to play with another dog, even if they look at me, we're going to abort mission and not do it. So I want you to be careful of those things too. Just because your dog gave you a sit, the fact that they barked incessantly before they sat is enough reason to not reward the sit, other than a good. So be careful about that too. Don't get like closed-minded, tunnel-minded about the little behavior right before. Think about the sequence. See if you're coming up with a pattern. If your dog acts like a jerk and then decides to play the game, as it were, giving you the behavior you want. And one way to fix that is to change the behaviors on a regular basis that you ask for, so that they never just fall into a rut, but they just always do one thing. I do, however, make the exception to the rule of eye contact. Always make them give you eye contact, but make sure it's a sit sometimes, a down other times, that sort of thing. Just a stay standing, whatever it is. Mix it up a little bit. Keep them on their toes. Don't let them go into a pattern behavior where they start whining and pulling and all of a sudden they go, oh, hey, look at this beautiful sit and I'm staring at you, because that's what you always ask them. If you change it up, they have to actually just give you eye contact and wait for your command. And that'll help break up those little nasty patterns they might have created in the process. So, yeah, good job, Monica. Thank you for asking me questions. Anyone who wants to ask me a question, even if you think that I've kind of covered it before, or you think you know what the answer is, go ahead and email me. You can email me at thatdogtrainingshow @gmail.com, or go on my Facebook page, That Dog Training Show with Tanya Yarbrough, and send me a message, and I will be glad to answer your questions. If I will ask you if I want to put it on the air and make it a podcast like I did with Monica. I will ask your permission first. I will never out you, and you can always remain anonymous even if your question is used. So, but that's always up to you. It's not something I'm going to arbitrarily throw out there. So, Monica from Poland, thank you very much for sending in that message and giving me the permission to talk about it as today's podcast, because I think that's going to help a lot of people all over the place. And isn't it nice to know that your dog's not the only jackass out there, right? Or not, you're not the only owner who's struggling with stuff. So, good job. And next week, I have no idea what the show's going to be about. It might be a surprise for me, too. But in any case, as I always say, in the dog world, to love is to serve. So give your dog every day little ways to serve you, and in return, you have served them well. I will talk to you all next week. Bye.